Hello, I want to show you how to set up a server for the world to enjoy. In this video I will skip the part on how to host a public server, so don't forget to watch my video on how to do that. In this one I will use a LAN server as an example, but the setup can just as well be used on a public one. There's more than one way to set up a server. Actually, there are way more configuration options and mods than I can cover, so I will just show you one way. There may be better ways, but this way will get you started. And any advice on setting up a server or hosting one is appreciated in the comments down under. One of the first things you should know is that the host's computer and internet speeds affects how many frames per second the server can handle. The further away someone is from your server, the higher ping he or she will get. This is especially affecting people abroad, and a high ping will have people avoiding your server. Some servers have a very slow download rate, and this will have people quit your server while downloading. I would rather play on a server with a high ping and a high download speed, but a low ping and a high download rate is preferable. One way to improve your server performance is to limit the amount your server has to load and limit the render in-game. A last thing you should be prepared for is you're going to experience a lot of trial and error while setting up a server. It takes some patience and troubleshooting. Knowing that, let's begin the tutorial. First you need to install a clean version of UnrealTournament Game of the Year Edition. And make sure to have a short installation path, since not all mods work with a long installation path, or spaces or special characters. This is also recommended if you're going to be a map creator. I'm going to install the game on my C drive, but you can use any drive, as long as you keep your path short and avoid special characters and spaces.
Alright, let's have a look at how to install it with Steam, and then GOG, Good Old Games. Open your Steam library. Install the game. Find the install folder, but do not run the game yet. Update it and then run it. I will show you how to update it. But first, let's have a look at how to install it with GOG. Open GOG Galaxy and click on Owned Games, and then Install. Do not run the game yet. We need to update it first. If you use a CD installation, say no to the S3TC textures. They are not needed. When the install has finished, then download my UT99 Game of the Year upgrade package. It consists of all the bonus packages and fixes we need in both UMod format and file format. I made this package in an attempt to make a user-friendly experience of upgrading your Unreal Tournament Game of the Year edition. You can choose a UMod installation, which allows you to uninstall each bonus pack as you like. But I will choose to use the all-in-one file version, since not everyone can use the UMods. Also download the pre-edited ini files. They contain the settings needed to be server ready. If you want to know more about the changes that have been made to the ini files in order to make them server ready, then read the README files. I will simply copy all the folders to my UT folder, and then I will replace my ini files with the pre-edited. In the user ini file, a hotkey to the online map vote has been set to the home key, and the bots has been custom configured. They are all renamed into bot 1, 2, 3 and so on. A lot of small changes have been made to the UnrealTournament.ini file, but one of the most important changes is a redirection link that has been set, so your players will download server packages from this server instead of yours. As long as the UT file server has the server package you use, this will free some resources from your server. If it does not have the server packages, then the player will download it from your own server. Now download and install the latest patch and hotfix. Choose the one which fits your computer. If you use the Steam version, then you need to run the game now and do the in-game server setup, which I will cover in a moment. The reason for this is that the first time I tested it, Steam prevented the game from working after I moved it and renamed it. but the game could still run as a server. The second time I tested it, the game was running fine, despite having moved and renamed it. Therefore, I have chosen to assume that the game does not work correctly when you move it, which is the reason for a slightly different procedure than if you bought the game from GOG. If you use the GOG version, then make a folder in your C drive, name it UT99 server, and copy your Unreal Tournament game to the new folder. Then run it. Now go to Options, Preference, Video. Choose a low World Textures Detail and a low Skin Detail. Now go to Controls and scroll down to Console Key. Set a key that you can remember and close the window. Press Escape until you're back in the game. In game, press the Console key. In the console, write Preference. This opens an Advanced Options window. Go to Rendering. Choose the graphic driver you use, for example OpenGL. Turn off the settings you feel safe with. Some examples could be coronas, detailed textures, shiny surfaces, volumetric lighting. Now go to Multiplayer, Start Network Game. Make sure there are no mutators on. Have a look at Setup Rules, Settings, and maybe give the bot some different classes and skins if you like. Rename your server and set an admin name that you can remember. I will choose admin for this tutorial. Click on Advertise Server. Write a username and a password. I will choose admin and admin. This is used for the remote admin function. Go to Options, Preference, Video. Now choose a low resolution. Then go back to Multiplayer, Start Network Game and choose the Server tab. Press Dedicated. And then right-click the server in the lower right corner and shut it down. If you use the Steam version, when you are done with the in-game server setup, make a folder in your C drive and then name it UT99 server. Copy the Steam version of the game into the new folder. This copy might no longer be able to run as a normal game, but it will run as a server. And you might want to redo the in-game server setup with your original Unreal Tournament Steam copy. Let's create the necessary file to run it as a server. Go to your UnrealTournament.ini server folder. Right-click on an empty place and make a new text file with Notepad. And copy this from a doobly-doo. Make sure the drive and file path are correct. Save it as a batch file and name it Run My Server. Double-click it to run and test your server if you like, and then close it. I am running a clean server right now, but I want to customize it. I want some deathmatch, capture the flag, monster hunt and bunny track, so I need to install some mods and maps. Make a shortcut to your UnrealTournament.ini file and move it to the server folder. This makes it easier to find, as there will be many files in your system folder. I already have some deathmatch and capture the flag maps, but I need to download some bunny track and monster hunt maps. I will find some in the Unreal archive. In order to organize it a bit, make a folder for all the zipped maps. I can't run Monster Hunt or Bunny Track yet. For that I need some mods. I will download Monster Hunt version 5.03. It is tempting to use the new version from this year, but it will cause a package mismatch error and prevent players from playing previous versions of Monster Hunt on other servers. So until that is fixed, I will use the 5.03 version. But you might want to try it out anyway. It has some great maps included. Install Monster Hunt by copy the files to your system folder. Then make a change in the MonsterHunt.ini. Max team size, set it to 10. Force respawn, set it to true in order to avoid players exploring the map in spectator mode. This mod is a regeneration mod for ammunition and health. I will set the ammunition regeneration to 2, and I will exclude the remedy, and I will have health regeneration set as 0.5. Otherwise you will regain more health than you lose when drowning. In the README file you will find its mutator names, and we will need them later. This mod will prevent you from dealing damage to yourself, and it will prevent players from pushing each other into death traps. Set allowed team boost to false. In its README file we can find its mutator name that we will need later. Sometimes, when you die in Monster Hunt, you have to run an unreasonable long distance to get back to where you died. Therefore, I would like to give the players the option to create a checkpoint. As you see, the Monster Hunt checkpoint is missing a file, so I will use the one made for Bunny Track. Add this to your UnrealTournament.ini file. Only add the server package, not the server actor, since we don't want this mod to work on each game type. And remember, it's the mutator name that we find in its README file. That should be fine for Monster Hunt. Now it's time to install Bunny Track. This is the Bunny Track mutator. Add this to your UnrealTournament.ini file. And now I capture the flag mod that also rewards the defenders. Copy the files to your system folder. This README file does not tell you what to write in your UnrealTournament.ini file, and it doesn't tell you what the name of the mutator is, so just copy that from my doobly-doo. Now the next mod I want for my server is a server control mod named NextGen. This mod has some extensions available, but I will only install the main mod and two of the extensions. The client-side extension and the plus 100. Copy the files to your Unreal Tournament system folder. Now add this to your UnrealTournament.ini file. You can copy it from my doobly-doo. Now run the server so it will create a NextGen.ini file. Then close your server and go to your new ini file. Change your max idle time to -1. This will prevent people from getting kicked by being idle. When you're playing Monster Hunt, you might sometimes want to camp the monsters, so this will prevent people from getting kicked while camping. Now, change Enable NextGen Start Control to false. Otherwise, players will be free to explore the maps in spectator mode, and that will remove the excitement from most Monster Hunt maps. The next mod I will install is Ace, an anti-cheat mod. To install this, copy logs, shorts and system to your server folder. And add this to your UnrealTournament.ini file. And now the last mod I want to install. A map vote function. There are a lot of different map votes to choose from, so I will just pick the latest. It is from this September 2022. This map vote provides a function for the player to remove all bots from a map. It's a really nice function in a Monster Hunt game, as the player can decide whether he or she wants the help of bots or not. When you have copied all the files to your system folder, add this to your UnrealTournament.ini file. In order to have the map vote function to work, we need to force the server to begin a game with the map DM tutorial and having the mutator map vote active. Otherwise, the map vote will not know it's running on a server. So go to a bat file, right-click it and choose Edit. copy and paste the new text from my doobly-doo and save it as a bat file again. Now I have to go to my map folder and make a folder for each game type I want to have. Now, move all your downloaded bunny track maps to the BT folder. Some of the maps begin with CTF, so rename all the maps so they begin with BT instead. Otherwise, the map vote function cannot recognize these maps. Move all your deathmatch maps to the deathmatch folder and the capture the flag maps to the capture the flag folder. And move all your monster hunt maps to the monster hunt folder. Some map includes new textures and new music. Move the music to the music folder and the textures to the texture folder. But do not remove the DM tutorial map, the entry or the city intro map. They must remain in the maps folder. You can delete all the other maps. Now run your server in order to generate a map.ini file. Then close your server again. A map.ini file has now been created in your system folder. Find it and make a shortcut and move the shortcut to the server folder. This makes it easier to find whenever you want to make a change. Now we are going to need the mutator names as we previously noted. Open the map.ini file. Remember to change the pop-up window delay to 10 so you don't have to wait that long whenever you try to open the map vote. You can set up each game as you like, with different settings and mutators. Or you can just copy the map vote setup from my doobly-doo. Now run the server, and while the server is running, test if the remote admin function works. Open a browser and write localhost 80, and then fill out username and password. Mine are admin and admin. I have not managed to get it to work on a phone. That would otherwise have been practical. If you can't get the remote admin function to work on another network, it's probably because the right port isn't opened on your router. When you are done exploring the remote admin function, close your browser and run a game version of Unreal Tournament and visit your server. It is time to test the server and see if everything is running as it should. It looks like all the mods are running, so let's open the game. Okay, I can see 8 are starting up and the map vote is showing. And the server control, let's see if it is forcing me to spawn. It is, and I can see the bots are spawning too. Very fine. Let's see if the no team color function works. And it does. Great. Now, type T for talk and write !V to open the vote menu. Let's try the remove bots function. It worked, but now I have to fight the monsters alone. Okay, let's go somewhere safe and open the map menu again. Now let's try another game type. Okay, it seems to be working. Let's try to make a checkpoint and see if it works. Type !CP to make a checkpoint. Very nice. Let's go to the capture the flag game mode and see if everything works as it should. Well, the smart capture the flag score shows in the upper right corner, so it seems to be working. And there are the new scoreboard. So it's working fine, but I forgot to test the checkpoint function in Monster Hunt. So let's go there and try it. I like the mood in this map. It is kind of chilly and a bit scary, but the bots are ruining the experience. So I'm gonna remove them. And I have my red skin on. I don't like that. I want my gold skin. In order to get that on, I need to disconnect the server, change into the gold skin, and then reconnect to the server. Now that is how I like it. Now, it's time to check if the checkpoint function works. And it does. Very nice. Now press T and type !open to open the next gen server controller. Press admin login and type in your password. You will then reconnect to the game. Now you have access to all of its functions. Press Client and then Settings, and now set a keybind to open the server control. Now go to Server, Settings, Plugins, and scroll all the way down. Here you can write a startup greeting, server rules, or some good advice. Select Game and Match Control and then press Restart Game in order to see the changes you have made. Well, I guess our custom server is ready to be hosted public. If you have your own computer dedicated for running a server 24/7, then there are a few more steps. You can have your computer run your server on startup. It is practical if your computer suddenly restarts due to a system update or similar. To have your server run on startup, find your Run My Server bat file and press the Windows logo key plus R. Type shell startup. Then select OK. Make a shortcut for your Run My Server bat file and move it over in the window that just opened. Now let's disable Windows 10 login, password and lock screen. Right-click your Windows button and press Settings. Select Accounts and then select Sign In Options. Find Require Sign In and select Never in the drop-down menu. Make sure Hello Sign In is off. Close it and go to your Windows search bar and write netpl-wiz. Uncheck the box and select OK. Fill out the passwords and select OK. Now right-click your Windows button and press Settings. Go to System. Go to Power and Sleep and choose Never Sleep. Now, when your computer restarts or if it crashes, it will run your Unreal Tournament server as soon as it starts up. I hope you found this tutorial useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Happy gaming!